Thank you, sir.
You're good.
Good evening and welcome to the City of Sunbury Council meeting. It's August 20th, 2025, 7:30 p.m. Would you please join me in a moment of silent prayer and pledge of allegiance? Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Call, please.
Mayor St. John,
House.
Mr. Capel,
Here.
Mr. Ayer, here, Mr. Ghost,
Here.
Mr. Brumney,
Here.
Mr. Martin,
Here.
Mrs. Cooper. Here. 7 yeas, we have a quorum.
Meeting on August 6th, a couple weeks ago, looking for a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
We got a motion by Mrs. Cooper,
Second.
second by Mr. Capel. Discussion. Roll call.
Mrs. Cooper? Yes. Mr. Capel?
Yes.
Mr. Ayer? Yes. Mayor St. John?
Yes.
Mr. Ghost?
Yes.
Mr. Grumney?
Yeah.
Mr. Martin?
Yes.
7 yeas, minutes passed.
Okay, next item on the agenda is the visitor section. We do have one visitor that I know is scheduled, and that is Ms. Tracy Whitaker from the Health District. Would you mind coming up to the stand? We're going to ask you a few questions as you testify. Good evening and welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me again. Just wanted to give a quick update from the health department. Let me put these on because here we go. So not a lot going on right now. We're in between back to school clinics and flu clinics, so that's going to be coming up again. We do want to personally thank the city for partnering with us when we received a report of a human case of Blue Cross encephalitis. You responded and getting the word out for us very quickly, and we were able to spray the area for that type of mosquito. And we were able to get out and get on the square and give out materials like screen protectors, bug wipes, just some general information just to let your residents know that there was a case. So thank you for that. Then also you may have received this flyer. This is the last update I have. It was really well received last year. Sunbury was one of our partner locations. Unfortunately, we did not receive that grant money this year. I don't know if anyone did actually this year, but the Solid Waste District found that it was actually really well received here in the county. So they are providing us some funds to hold a free event at the fairgrounds on October 18th. From 9 to noon. The limit is 10 passenger tires, not ag tires. These are passenger tires, and no bike tires as well. But it's for Delaware County residents only. Even though the Solid Waste District is Delaware, Morrow, Marion, and Knox, this is just for Delaware County residents. So that's the only update I have. If anyone has any questions.
Anyone have any questions?
Yes, sir.
Thanks so much for what you do.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming tonight.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Take care. All right, next item on the agenda is committee reports. Ms. Dreyer?
I have none.
All right, Mr. Grumney?
Yes, and I will do my best to recap, but Mayor, if you want to fill anything I might
Sure.
state correctly or be leaving out, please jump in. So we had a finance committee meeting this evening. The hot topic was a discussion about a proposed reduction in property tax or elimination of inside millage, and what would happen in the city if that were to occur, and how the city would plan to address that. And so this council, on the mayor's direction, is moving towards a proactive approach, which would be a proposal, 3-year plan to reduce expenditures over again, a 3-year plan that would equate to the lost revenue and inside millage. So that's a gain for the residents, certainly in a tax reduction. And so the city would look to see where we could appropriately reduce our expenditures, and then also have conversations about revenue and how we could make up those lost revenues. But it was a great discussion, and I think it'll be good for our residents. And I appreciate the mayor bringing this up and bringing that plan to all of us. So again, that's a plan that we worked, and Ms. Stebbin provided some great information on the city expenditures and where we might be able to look to see some savings. So, again, that was a great conversation. We also did a quarterly investment review, and Ms. Steffens keeping an eye on the rates as the Fed looks into rates and whether or not those will be moved downwards. And if so, we may look to potentially move some funds from our Star Ohio account to Fifth Third Investments. And then we did some comparison reports, looked at revenue and expenses. Revenues are right on track 7 months in, and nothing really noteworthy on the expense side. So, yep. Thank you.
Nothing here.
I'm just gonna add on and then
Yes.
I'll head down the line, but you may recall, I publicly opposed House Bill 335, which was introduced by the House in early June, and they were tracking towards passing it in late June. Ultimately, it was not incorporated into the semi-annual operating budget. But what that bill did, in a nutshell, was it was going to abolish inside millage, which is a type of real estate tax that is afforded to municipalities, counties, school districts, and townships. It was going to eliminate the ability for municipalities, school districts, and counties from collecting that revenue. And the issue that I had with that bill in particular is it was a one size fits all, which typically never works. It was pushed down from the state, which typically never works, and it doesn't account for local conditions. And so that was the primary reason that I had opposed it. It was not that I am opposed to tax reform, as we specifically called that out in our grievance against that particular bill. But to echo what Mr. Grumney said, and to be more specific, I've given this a lot of thought. I think all of you have given this a lot of thought. We've talked about it numerous times in open session. And we had asked Ms. Steffen to talk about, what does a 10% reduction in our budget look like? And so she broke that down into different cost categories, including personnel, capital investments, benefits, wages, etc. And I think we all agree that, if we're going to go down this path of reducing revenue, where we take the ball and run with it as opposed to the state, we're going to need to make some hard decisions about that. I don't think cutting off 11% of your revenue or 10% of your revenue in 1 year is a very effective strategy. So I'm recommending a proposed 3-year burn down, which I think is responsible. It gives us time to react. And that's taking into account all the different things: our growth rate, our revenue increases year over year, our spending habits, our debt position. I've considered all that. And my strong recommendation is that we do what's right for both our community and the taxpayers and reduce real estate taxes, specifically inside millage charges, over a 3-year period. Completely. And I think that's the right move to do. So thank you very much. We had a lot of support from our finance committee and our staff, and that's the direction we're heading right now.
That concludes my recap.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Shake and bake like them. All right, I'd like to hand it over to Ms. Cooper.
We had an events and commemorations meeting yesterday evening, and we discussed our special permit policy. This is something that we wanted to do because we've had this committee now for 3 or 4 years, so we just wanted to go back and refresh it. And Mr. Hennessy is looking into some things with that. We also had a young man here to talk about a disc golf event that they're going to be having. He's doing it as a fundraiser. And we also had just an informational talk about the communities at Sunbury. They do a color run. It doesn't really come to the level of needing council's input or anything, but it was just a nice practice so that everyone is aware that this is going on. So thank you.
Perfect, thank you. Mr. Martin?
Fire board meeting last week was very, very interesting. The chief did a presentation of the cave-in that they had out in
Rice Ponds.
Rice Ponds, and the number of hours it took. And when you see pictures, you see all these backhoes lined up side by side, and people thought the backhoes were digging these people out. They won't use a backhoe when there are live people in the hole. And those backhoes are lined up there to keep the rest of the dirt from caving down in on the people. That's why they were all lined up the way they were. They had help from 8 different fire companies around central Ohio. And one of the guys, they got him dug out and they told him just stand there because they were going to lift him up out of there. And he was so excited, he climbed up out. And as soon as he did, the pile of dirt he had collapsed and he fell right back down in the hole. And he was buried even farther than he was when he first got out. And so it was up to his knees, but they were able to dig him back out again. Thank goodness no one was hurt. No one was seriously hurt. One of the guys was buried up to his neck in dirt. And they did an amazing, incredible job. People from all over central Ohio were here to help. And the people that lived over there went to Kroger's, bought every bottle of water they could find. They had more water and juice and stuff for the workers there helping, the firefighters that were there helping and stuff. But it was absolutely amazing. And they had that one of the guys that was there from the county he was a specialist in this type of accident. And so he knew exactly who to have do what, where, when, and how. And it all came together beautifully. They were very fortunate no lives were lost in that accident. And everybody, the 2 guys were put in the hospital to be checked out, but they both are now out of the hospital and doing fine. So that was a really interesting.
That's miracle. Those listening online, if you hear the horns beeping, it sounds like Big Walnut 1.
7th grade.
Welcome back, Dave. Welcome back. I don't know if we told you last week, but glad to have you back.
It's good to be back.
Thanks for attending the fire board meeting.
Mhm.
Here goes.
Nothing to report, sir.
All right, and I didn't wrap up visitors section. Is there anybody else that would like to speak with city council? Mr. Barry Bennett, come on up, sir. Got 13 seconds.
That's all it needs. Maybe less. I used it up. That's it.
After you, sir.
2 really quick things. Barry Bennett, 272 High Street, Sunbury, Ohio. During and after Sizzle, which was wonderfully produced this year, thank you all. I've had friends, and I know you've all discounted what I'm going to say because you know I don't have any friends. Friends and friends of friends, and not just during Sizzle, but for the last couple months, have been talking to me about, I don't know why me, but why isn't there more for kids to do in Sunbury? I know council has been aware of this and has been talking about it, but I just wanted to give you some feedback from the field that other parents are also talking about it. I don't know what the solution is. I'm just throwing it out there for you. I know there's a park coming and stuff like that, but I don't know if they're talking about things like a GameStop in the center of town or, you know, I don't really know what they have in mind. But I'm just giving you the feedback that I've been getting.
Thank you very much.
So that's number 1. Number 2 is, I don't know, this might be more for services, but I'll just put it out there for council. I'm not sure if anyone in the city is aware of an invasive tree called Tree of Heaven that is here. It's pretty prevalent on my new property, which is why I know about it now. I'll be taking them out as I can because they're growing like wildfire. But the interesting thing is there are 2 of them in the right of way for High Street. There were a couple branches starting to hang out into the street and I was about to trim them and I noticed that the city came by and trimmed them. Those trees really need to be removed. And I'll do it. They're only 1.5 or 2 inch trees, but it might be something to put on the radar as they're going around trimming trees. These things need to go because they produce 10,000 seeds when they get mature and they'll take over a whole area. So that's it.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Daryl, you want to call Jake, see if we can get Barry a chainsaw orange vest? Right now. That's a joke. Thank you. Actually, I've never heard of that tree.
And bring a sample in.
If you look it up, it looks almost exactly like black walnut, at least the leaf does.
Okay.
Once they grow up, stems.
Good deal. Thank you, sir. Anyone else like to speak with city council? All right. Next item on the agenda is the police report. Sergeant Holden.
Thank you. So we would like to start off by thanking the city for resurfacing our front parking lot at the police department. For those of you that don't know, it was milled up on the 15th. It was repaved on the 18th, and we're gonna have it striped this coming Tuesday. So look forward to that. Like to announce that our final cruiser has been brought back from Bullet and is now in rotation.
Okay.
So all 5 cruisers are upfitted and in service. So that's an exciting thing. So our 2 SRO cars have been completed. They're labeled SRO 1 and 2. So if you see those running around town, that's what they're labeled. I'm going to touch on an incident here that happened in the city. It's kind of been a topic of communication amongst the citizens here. I'm going to just touch on it briefly. Okay. There was an incident that happened on Harris Street, on August 11th, where an individual went on a little bit of a tear with his vehicle, drove through some properties, damaged the Harrison Street School, and then drove down into Galena and crashed out. I would like to announce that he was apprehended. Okay. He was submitted into the hospital to be evaluated. I'd like to say that no pedestrian was injured in that incident. Thank goodness. But all the Sunbury residents have been provided the report number and the insurance information for that individual. I'd be willing to try to answer any questions. Anybody has any questions on that, but that's that in a nutshell.
One quick question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Was this just determined to be a one-off incident with this individual, or was there any sort of like terrorism involved?
No, this is a one-off incident. I will say that the individual appeared to be highly intoxicated. So this was a isolated one-off incident. Nothing terroristic about it.
The car went down onto the path
It did,
near
yeah,
the train station and into Galena.
correct. We're crashed out in Galena.
So down on the Erie.
Yeah, it went down the
Erie
bike path.
trail, the
Correct.
trail path.
Yep.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Any major damage to that trail, though?
To what?
To
Sorry,
the trail itself?
to the trail?
Anything
No,
up?
not that was been reported to me by the officers that have handled it. There is major damage on Harrison Street with one of the residents and the school front lawn. So there is damage there. And then there is damage in Galena, but nothing on the bike trail that I'm aware of. Okay, I'd like to move on to Sizzle. Everybody's had fun at Sizzle. Sizzle was a success again this year on our end. There was just very few incidents, nothing major that involving police. It was quite a help, to be honest, to have the security staff in the beer garden. Gave our officers the opportunity to be able to walk some of the areas they haven't been able to walk a lot in the past, to engage with the kids and the other adults in those areas. So communication was good with the security, especially they're approaching the event. So we would like to thank everybody that was involved with that well-planned event, but nothing major went on as far as our end with Sizzle, so it was a success. And with that, I don't have anything else to report. I'll take any questions if anybody has questions.
Any questions? Sorry, go ahead.
How's there a vehicle getting on that trail and driving from here to Galena? That should never happen. There should be a bollard up. There's no way a vehicle should be able to get on that bike path. We are so lucky.
We are lucky.
Somebody didn't get killed.
Did they access it? Do we know?
It's right over here.
Yeah.
You can drive right on that path if
Yeah,
you
from
want
that
to.
gravel.
Go up behind the-
He exited the bike path on Letts Avenue.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Access it.
and I live right there.
Mhm.
Yeah,
You gotta go from Letts, you gotta go across the railroad.
bridge, yeah.
And I think there's a bollard there, or there was. Has that been removed?
There was, but they take it down every once in a while for
And
maintenance.
that has to be a conversation with Preservation Parks then.
And that's a conversation I'm willing to have with Preservation Parks.
Yeah.
Check on the Ballard, see if it's there, or if it was removed.
I mean, they might have taken it out temporarily. Maybe it was taken out that day so they could do service or drive a four-wheeler or something like that, but It's just an example.
They're removable, yeah, they're removable so they can go through and patch little potholes that develop and that kind of stuff.
And trim
And then
trees.
the plow snow in the wintertime. But they should be in there when they're not doing that kind of work.
Mhm.
There's a place at each end of the bridge where there's supposed to be a pole in there.
Sounds like Sergeant Holden is gonna follow up with Preservation Park.
Follow up with them directly.
Thanks.
I would almost think anywhere along that trail within the city, where there's an access point from the street, there needs to be a bollard that keeps them from going any farther.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah, I think there is down here on Cherry, isn't there?
There is.
2 entry points.
Yeah.
There isn't.
There
There
is,
is.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's kind of like, people drive over it.
Hey.
Or-
All right, well, something to add to the capital budget.
Question real quick about Sizzle again. How was the attendance? Was it average or more than average?
In the spirit of honesty, I feel like the attendance was probably average. I have seen sizzles where there's, more attendees. It was very hot,
So hot.
so hot.
It would have been a great day for
Yeah.
Sizzle.
Right.
That may have drove out some of the attendees, but it was a decent turnout. I will not take anything from that, but I have seen it be higher numbers.
Overall, great job.
Thank you.
So maybe continuing with the theme of Sizzle, let me just say, so we do have a debrief with Emergency Services, Civic Association, city staff on September 4th. So we'll come back with a little bit more detail later, certainly to the events committee. We'll ask that question about attendance just to kind of see where people stand. But just from our side, would want to say thank you to all those who are involved, the Civic Association, the community sponsors. I mean, they really did have an outstanding list of sponsors this year, maybe more so than they've had in any recent year. The volunteers, emergency responders, again, and city staff. So I did include in your packet the date of next year's Sizzle. So put it on your calendar, August 15th, 2026. So. But the only other item of significance to talk about is the annual impact fee report. So we talked a little bit about impact fees during the finance committee meeting. Each year, the zoning officer is to prepare a report on impact fees. That is in your packet, starting on packet page 13. The city ordinance allows the zoning officer to make an automatic annual adjustment to the impact fees based upon inflation data from Engineer News Record Construction Cost Index. So what you have in the packet is from the last time the fees were adjusted, which was in January of 2024 until June of 2025. So about a year and a half. It's been a year and a half since we've made an adjustment. The inflationary factor is 2.63%. And so beginning on packet page 14, you could see what the impact is going to be on the impact fee. So for a single family detached dwelling, what used to be just a little over $3,900 will now be just around $4,000. And like I said, all of the other categories are proposed for increases as well. There's no action required by council to enact or to implement the automatic adjustment. Council could ask to use a different factor or a different data set. But again, in our ordinance, it says that if we use this cost index, it allows the zoning officer to make an automatic adjustment. So unless council directs me otherwise, I think that's where we're going to go with it. And yeah, if anybody has any questions, certainly let me know about that. The final thing I'll say is in the report on packet page 16, with the help of Ms. Steffen, the zoning officer was able to put together a report in terms of the total collections on impact fees between June 1, 24 and May 30, 25. As you can see, there are significant revenues coming in as it relates to our impact fees. And then on packet page 617, you can see a list of where there have been some expenditures used out of that impact fee, what they have gone for. But I don't think there's any case in which more has been expended than has been received. In fact, yeah, it doesn't appear to be the case. So anyways, so I think we're in pretty good shape with respect to the impact fees, but I'd be happy to answer any questions if you've got it.
Question there. on page 16, so bottom right-hand corner, fund balance. These are all the current balances in these funds, right?
So those are the balances as of, I'm
Okay.
guessing, is it June 1? May, as of May 30, 2025.
Okay.
Yeah, healthy balances in that. I mean, we, have used the municipal category to help pay the debt service on the improvements that were done to the building. For example, the police facility, you can see that's the additional cruisers, because again, you can't replace existing. It has to be, net new investments in the city that are a result of growth. We haven't spent anything out of the parks fund at the moment, but we have talked about when J.R. Smith comes online, that this may be one of those sources that we look to perhaps help pay the debt service longer term. And we will have more on the J.R. Smith financing here probably in the next couple of months. So the design work on J.R. Smith continues to proceed on schedule.
Are the impact fees assessed on a commercial?
Yeah, so if you look at packet page 15, that has the non-residential uses. So commercial, it's based on a square footage per 1,000 square feet of gross floor area. Actually, that's the same standard for commercial, industrial, office, and institutional.
Are they billed for that? Is how?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes, so the developer pays that fee.
prior to
Gotcha.
gaining occupancy.
Prior to
Okay,
occupancy.
gotcha.
That also includes commercial or industrial additions to buildings, so Hitachi or Ohashi, as they expand, they pay additional fees as well.
Question there again on the impact fees. So the index that our zoning clerk used to arrive at the new inflationary adjustment numbers, is that the most common or most popular index used in the state of Ohio for municipalities, Daryl?
I don't know the answer to that. I do know that that's spelled out specifically in our ordinance, though. It says to use that cost index. I don't know that you know a lot about this index. Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to get a little more info on that. Thank you.
Familiar with the consumer price index? Mr. Hennessy, you and I spoke about the inflation factor 2.63. Did this account for the 18-month?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. The best. Any other questions? Ms. Odebrowski, the engineer's report.
Packet page 18, light report this time. I am returning from a convention center in Chicago. I attended PWX, the Public Works Expo. I think I've mentioned in here, I represent the Central Ohio Board and as their acting president. This is a conference I've gone to since 2017. So there's snow, ice, removal concepts that I can learn about, but there's also engineering continuing education credit that I can get to, and it's a great networking experience. So got a little bit of a light agenda here today. For Walnut Street stabilization, it was announced at the last meeting, the opening of Walnut Street occurred on August 8th with a ribbon cutting at 1 p.m. So when you get a chance, please slowly drive through the road and let us know if you have any comments. As far as the project is concerned, we do just have a final walkthrough for punch list items that we will conduct with Ironsight and for Dantis in order to start the process of closing that project out. For the street improvement program, it was already mentioned that the police parking lot was finished. I will work with Public Works to get out there. We're planning on installing some of those concrete parking blocks to try and delineate where the road meets the parking lot, because it's our understanding that even though there's a pole on the corner, a lot of people try to kind of cut it sharp and drive directly through the lot. So we're going to try and encourage that by putting in some barriers. For the East Granville Street widening project, we had public input and comments that were due
at the end of July. We now have 30 days to respond as part of our federal funding. So August 25th, those comments will be due. I'm working through those with the administrator, just to make sure that every comment is addressed. For the most part, there were fewer comments and more feedback. So we were able to look at the comments, and just say, this is something we'll consider as we get further into design. There will be further opportunities for public involvement in this project, at least as far as people being able to engage when we get to the construction part of it. So come 2026 and to 2026, we'll start talking about what the maintenance of traffic is going to look like, and we'll be able to get more notifications out to the residents. For J.R. Smith Park improvements, we plan on having the 90% plans in October. Hopefully there will be a few corrections so that we can get those plans bid out and try to get a contractor on board by the end of the year. And under other items, I also mentioned construction of Four Winds Drive. So the portion of Four Winds Drive that is south of the White Castle on the other side of 71 is being extended. You can really start to see that construction now from the road. So it's underway. If people have questions, please let me know. But right now we have the Wilcox team working on getting that road extended, hopefully by the end of the year, although final pavement won't occur until next spring.
Highly recommend you go out there as soon as possible and check that out. It is moving very,
Yeah.
very fast.
Saw that a few
I
days.
talked to Mr. Hennessy about getting drone footage of MTB and Woodland Lakes. Just it'd be a good idea to do it like right now.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, great.
Any questions?
How's everything moving along on Cheshire Road? Project there.
So the road was paid, or which Cheshire Road project are we talking? Are we talking about the road work or the sanitary?
Yes, behind the current homes there.
Oh, Kintner Crossing.
Kintner Crossing.
Kintner Crossing. Okay, thank you. That project is coming along. They are working on installing the sanitary sewer. I don't have the exact date for when they are planning on connecting to the pump station, which is close to where our pump station is located. But essentially, you'll be able to see a lot of construction from Cheshire Road as they start to install that connection in that location. So once I get a little bit more timeline, I can fill you in on that. They also want to get that road installed, so essentially redirect Cheshire Road so that it realigns with the Hitachi entrance, where eventually there will be a traffic signal as well. But they're hopeful to get that road in by the end of the year. So they are,
It's pretty quick.
yes, they are working as quickly as they can, and we are reviewing and keeping an eye on it. But the Romanelli team and the contractor, DR Horton, they've been great to work with.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so one other thing I would add, the lining of the Cheshire Ditch sanitary line. I mean, I'm pretty excited about this, so.
Yeah, so there's actually a lot happening on Cheshire. You know what? Talk about a miss in the report. So we've talked about lining the Cheshire Ditch, which would be behind the homes and between that development from the pump station basically to just beyond 3637. So a long portion of it. We know that it is a ditch, so there's a lot of water in that area. And we conducted a study to take some flow monitor data to see how much water was getting in during rain events. We now plan to line it based on some video footage that we took. Essentially, instead of replacing it, and digging it up, it's very expensive to do that. It's very common to line the pipe. So essentially, stick a bladder in the pipe and expand it, and then it'll seal to the outside of the pipe. Really cool technology. So we now have a contract through Performance Pipeline to get that project moving. I don't have a schedule for it yet, but we are trying to make sure that we time it so that the work that they're doing, it's actually Savco is the contractor for the sanitary at Kintner. So when they come and connect to the pump station, they get their connection. We want to line that ditch, the sanitary sewer in the ditch. And then, we're hopeful that they can come and do the pump upgrades as well. Because if you remember, I haven't had it on my report in a little while, but there's a delay in the supply for the pump station upgrades that will also occur. So there's a lot happening at Cheshire, but I think it's starting to come together with the timeline and trying to line up all the contractors, and it's going to be really cool when we get it on board. And eventually we'll have Little Walnut Creek in there, and yes.
Exciting stuff.
Yeah, really.
Yes.
Government's all about.
Exciting.
Congrats. Just YouTube sewer pipe lining. It's amazing.
Yeah. People often refer to it
It
as.
is.
Yeah, CIP.
Stuff out there on there.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, it's cool. It's actually cool to watch. Pretty
Yeah.
gross, but awesome.
Oh, yeah, it is a little bit gross, but it's impressive how much they can line so quickly. So CIPP lining, secured in place pipe
Mm.
lining. If you want to try and find some YouTube videos or ask me, I can send them your way as well.
Sweet. Thank you. Any questions for Ms. Odebrowski? Answer to all our questions. That's right. Have a good evening. Welcome back. All right, next item on the agenda, resolutions, no third readings. We've got a second reading is a reading only resolution number 2025.23. A resolution authorizing the Director of Finance to submit assessment certificates to the Delaware County Auditor. No first readings. We're on to ordinances. Third reading, ordinance number 2025.25. Make a motion to untable. Second by
Second?
Mr. Grumney. Discussion. Roll call.
Mayor St. John?
Yes.
Mr. Grumney?
Yes.
Mrs. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Martin?
Yes.
Mr. Ghost?
Yes.
Mr. Ayer?
Yes.
Apple?
Yes.
Passes.
Already did the third reading, but I'm going to read it anyways. Ordinance number 2025.25, an ordinance declaring the improvement to a certain parcel of real property to be a public purpose and exempt from taxation, establishing a municipal public improvement tax increment equivalent fund, and providing for the collection and deposit of service payments into that fund, specifying the public infrastructure improvements directly benefiting the parcel, and declaring an emergency. And, Mr. Hennessy, which page is this on? If anybody had any questions?
So the ordinance begins on packet page 26.
And then, the notifications to the school district, which is Olentangy on page 33. So that would be the back end. I'll make a motion on the emergency, and if there are any questions, we can talk about it in discussion.
Second.
A second by Mr. Capel. Discussion. Roll call.
Mayor St. John?
Yes.
Mr. Capel?
Yes.
Mr. Ayer?
Yes.
Mr. Ghost?
Yes.
Mr. Grumney?
Yes.
Mrs. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Martin?
Yes.
7 yeas, motion passes.
Make a motion on ordinance 2025.25. Second by Mr. Capel. Any discussion, comments, or questions? Okay, roll call.
Mayor St. John?
Yes.
Mr. Capel?
Yes.
Mr. Ayer?
Yes.
Mr. Ghost?
Yes.
Mr. Grumney?
Yes.
Mrs. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Martin?
Yes.
7 yeas, motion passes.
Great, thank you. Ordinance 2025.26, a third reading and ordinance accepting the public improvements for Rolling Hills subdivision section 1. And Mr. Jim Olin was here at our last meeting. We didn't have any questions for him. Any questions on the Rolling Hills accepting section 1 improvements? Public.
I'll make a motion.
Got a motion by Mr. Martin,
Second.
second by Mr. Capel. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Martin?
Yes.
Mr. Capel?
Yes.
Mr. Ayer?
Yes.
Mayor St. John?
Yes.
Mr. Ghost?
Yes.
Mr. Grumney?
Yes.
Mrs. Cooper?
Yes.
7 yeas, motion passes.
No second readings. I have a first reading ordinance number 2025.27. An ordinance accepting a petition for annexation of territory consisting of 50.885 plus or minus acres of land located in Trenton Township, Delaware County, owned by Sunbury 37 LLC, and declaring an emergency. Reading only. Next item on the agenda, new and unfinished business. And we have two items on the agenda. Mr. Hennessy, Labor Day Market Street closures, East Granville Street. Sir.
Yeah, so we do have this item on the agenda. The market is is an annual event here. There is a street closure on East Granville Street. We did talk about this a little bit in the context of the decision-making matrix, which is one of the items that Ms. Cooper talked about that's being reviewed by the events committee at the moment. Probably a little bit inconsistent in terms of bringing these to council, but so I'm bringing this one, but we're going to do some more research and we'll get it updated in the events policy. The events policy is adopted by council, so any changes to the events policy will work their way back here. Anyway, so the request here is to close East Granville Street on Monday, September 1st for the Labor Day market from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m.
I'll make a motion to pass that.
Got a second on that one? Discussion? Paul?
Mrs. Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor St. John?
Yes.
Mr. Ghost?
Yes.
Mr. Grumney?
Yes.
Mr. Martin?
Yes.
Ms. Strayer?
Yes.
Mr. Capel?
Yes.
7 yeas, motion passes.
All right, next item on the agenda is new and unfinished business, Sunbury trick or treat. Do we want to go Mr. Hennessy or Mrs. Cooper?
Well, I can say why it's on the agenda and then Mrs. Cooper can chime in on her thoughts on this. So trick or treat is October 31st. October 31st this year is a Friday. I think it has traditionally been the community's policy to follow the recommendation of MORPC, the Mid-Ohio Regional Planning Commission. The Mid-Ohio Regional Planning Commission is recommending that when Halloween falls on a Friday, a Saturday, or a Sunday, that it go to another date. A Friday date is recommended to go to a Thursday night trick or treat in a community. So a lot of communities have adopted the 30th as the date for doing that, but it's up to the jurisdiction to decide what it wants to do. So obviously a lot of people are very interested in what date trick or treat will be. And so this is a council decision. And so it's why you're on your agenda.
Do it on the 30th.
Maybe Mrs. Cooper wants to weigh in first.
The chairwoman of the committee.
So I recommend that we do trick or treat on Friday, the 31st. And here's why. One, so Halloween is on a Friday this year. And I think we should trick or treat on Friday for a few reasons. One, I think for younger kids, it's better to do it on a Friday than on a Thursday. I think it's also better for their parents and their teachers. Everyone stays up, has fun Friday night. No one has to get up and go to school on Saturday. Two, it's been on the 31st for the last 5 years. So our residents are used to it being on the 31st. Three, I called Chief Howard and Chief Kovach. Neither of them had a problem with having it on trick or treat on a Friday. Kovach said they don't typically see any increase in runs during trick or treat. Neither chief had any reservations having it on Friday versus Thursday. And if you've been around for any length of time during trick or treat, our little town just shuts down. There's not a lot of vehicle traffic on during 6 to 8 p.m., regardless if we have it, what day of the week we have it. And fourth and final, the city has an events calendar that's been published for a while. And on that calendar, it has trick or treats scheduled for Friday, October 31st from 6 to 8 p.m.
Is there a football game that night?
That's what I was wondering too.
Also called Coach Kreger, who is the varsity coach of Big Walnut football. And he told me that the season ends the Friday before. What that means is playoffs immediately begin. However, the way high school playoffs work in our division, the top 4 teams get a bye that week. Last year, we got a bye that week. This year, he can't predict because the way they score high school varsity football for the playoffs is done with a metric system similar to college. It's not like the NFL where it's wins and losses. And that dynamic doesn't even start until about 3 weeks in. So unfortunately, we cannot make this decision based off football because Coach Kreger won't even have an idea of how the computers are ranking us until after 3 weeks in. We'll have our first game this Friday.
I recommend we're ranked number 1, so we're gonna get a bye.
His hope. So So we don't know. Hope the best case scenario is Big Walnut gets by that week. There's no football. I did talk specifically about football with Chief Howard. He said for football games and for if a football game falls on the night of trick or treat, they do they rotate shifts, and it didn't cause him any worry with it just being from 6 to 8. They would just stagger their shifts so that we would have
Everybody goes to
plenty.
the football game, who's gonna be home?
Well, I thought about that and I talked to Mr. Capel about that. I have done my research, and Mr. Capel and I agree that, well, I hear what you're saying too about if folks are at the game, but Mr. Capel and I thought really that trick or treat, although specifically in my neighborhood, we get lots of teenagers that dress up and come around and we love it. But it's really the holiday is really meant for the younger kids. And we just feel like the younger kids and their families aren't going to the football game as much as the older kids are. And we can't make the decision based off of football.
But
I mean, it started at
if the
7:30,
people-
right?
The people are at the game watching, they're
Yeah.
not home to hand out candy.
Right. I hear you, and
Yeah.
I hear you, but I feel like we're gonna get that by. Now, I just feel like we can't make the decision based off of football, and I think we should make the decision based off of all the other reasons that we said.
Yeah, I mean, the way I said, we have 7,000 people in the community. I think, 400 people at a football game isn't gonna destroy trickery. I just real quick, my say on this, I cannot stand when I had kids who were younger, when the trick or treat day just rotated every year. It's like, is it on Wednesday this year, Thursday? I think the idea that it's on a Friday is nice because you don't have to worry about school the next day. But I mean, it's from 6 to 8, so it really doesn't matter if it's a Friday or a Tuesday to me. That's just not an active time for anything to happen. And I also just say that I have no idea what I was just gonna say.
Tradition matters.
Yeah, well, yeah, sure.
That's what you said.
Yeah, tradition matters, but I didn't have no problem with the 6 to 8 if it's on a Friday or a Thursday.
If Delaware, for reference, they do it on the 31st. Every
Everybody,
year.
what?
And you're always gonna have something that comes up. I mean, whether it's bad weather, it's a
Mhm.
football game, it's I don't know.
Oliver, what's the reasoning for Morphe's Thursday night
So
decision?
I looked that up as well, if you'd like me to take that. So the reason behind it is there's less traffic on Thursdays versus the weekend, stretching police and fire. And this to me makes sense in the city of Columbus. That makes sense to me. But like I said earlier, in Sunbury, the town shuts down from 6 to 8 for trick or treat, regardless of the day of the week. And we have had to move trick or treat because of severe weather in the past, and we've moved it to a weekend and it was fine. So, which I think it makes sense. That's why I'm glad they put in there, like, for every community to make their own decision, because what Sunbury does is going to be different than what the city of Columbus needs to do. So I respect that they probably want to do it on Thursday night, but it's
Yeah.
my opinion. I don't think I can make a motion right now though, because there's a motion on so you made a motion, right?
Yeah, but it never got seconded.
Oh, okay.
And I'll withdraw it.
Okay. Is there any other discussion?
Yeah, I wanted to agree with what John said essentially. I was surprised when I saw this come up on the agenda because I'm like, I thought we talked this to death here a few years ago. And that we came to a decision on what we were gonna do. And I really would like it to not be in question in the future again. You know, set it for the 31st, call it a day. I feel like that has gone well over the last few years. It sticks with the tradition. Or alternative to that, if there's a particular day of the week that always works the best, then you just say it's always that day of the week or that day of the week before Halloween so that people can plan on it. Because I think the varying days is confusing to people. People plan out time off from work to attend it, and it'd just be better to have it the same every single year without question.
What's the fallback date? Saturday?
Thursday.
Thursday's the fallback date?
You wanted better?
I'm just saying, no, we always have like a weather. I'm just,
Do you
people are
have-
gonna ask me.
Backup date.
So the one year we had a little bit of problem when we had the weather date because it got called prior to trick or treating And then the weather date came up and had worse weather than the day it was called off. So I kind of feel like trick or treat should be a rain or shine type of thing.
I don't want to overcomplicate this.
Yep,
And
and
Cindy.
People take time off to attend it, well ahead of the event.
Which is
So I feel like,
In that the city has already had this on their
Yeah.
events calendar. So
I'll make a motion to have it on October the 31st.
Okay, good deal.
I'll second.
Yeah, second by Mrs. Cooper. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Grumney,
Yes.
Mrs. Cooper,
Yes.
Mr. Martin,
No,
Mr. Ghost,
Yes.
Mayor St. John,
Yes.
Mayor,
Yes.
Mr. Capel,
yes.
6 yeas, motion passes.
Good deal. Good, do your research, Mrs. Cooper.
Very good, yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks for doing that.
answered all the questions.
You handle inside millage of. It takes a village.
Are you doing unfinished business?
If anybody has not walked the path around the Harrison Street outdoor classroom, it has been redone. It's wonderful.
I have not. Where is that?
The outdoor classroom pond,
Harrison?
off the path that had the car go down. It's right near Harrison Street. They've got an outdoor classroom and a pond. Well, it was all,
PWA.
growth
You-
dirt path, yeah.
Okay, whoa. I was like, there's not a pond back here.
It's big long, no.
Oh, they cleared that out?
They,
The school did that?
I'm not sure who did it.
I bet
That
Doug
was-
Frau himself.
He might have.
Might have been.
But anyway, it's nice if you get the chance to walk it and see.
Very cool.
Okay, I'm gonna try that.
Sounds like an Eagle Scout, right?
That's cool.
Maybe, yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Mr. Capel?
Nothing tonight.
Mrs. Cooper?
Nothing tonight.
Mr. Martin? Mr. Ghost?
No, sir.
I just want to say, Sizzle, I attended multiple hours, multiple shifts. Did the kid shift and then I did the adult shift. And oh man, so well run. Multiple people came up and just said like, man, it's so great. Like the volunteer and the volunteerism, the city support, the law enforcement presence. Like it was just all right sized. It was hot, but I know a lot of people came from out of town. And we made the news. 10 TV news covered like the sizzle, sizzling community. Pretty cool. So that's awesome. Thanks to Cindy, Brian, Teresa, Jillian,
Yeah, Civic Association, shout out to them.
Civic Association, big shout out. And
Did a great job.
yeah, and the one thing my wife said about the security force, it looks like they were like extracted from Call of Duty. Like you exported a Call of Duty character or something and put them in the real world. And you're like, are you real, dude?
It's a
Yeah.
fitness goals, Joe.
Yeah, for sure. That was cool.
Finish routine, the guy, lead singer of Jump. Yeah, not only that, that guy was ripped.
Fitness goals, John.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second by multiple people. Damon Capel, give it to him. Discussion, roll call.
Mayor St. John,
Yes.
Mr. Capel,
Yes.
Ms. Strayer,
Yes.
Mr. Ghost,
Yes.
Mr. Grumney,
Yes.
Mrs. Cooper,
Yes.
Mr. Martin.
yes.
Okay, so we have